Emotional algebra, where the heart meets the math. What is integral is derivative as you figure out your path. Power plus emotions equals more than you can see. Listening to the wisdom of our host, Dr. E. Emotional algebra with Dr. E.
Welcome to Emotional Algebra with Dr. E. It's a podcast to help us all become better people through understanding the different variables that drive our behaviors. I'm your co-host, Andrew Tavani.
And I'm Dr. E.
And Dr. E, what is that I see in the background? It looks a little different than usual.
Yes, it is Georgia and there is snow. So
That
we've
is a
had a little
rarity.
snow moving for the day.
Yeah, you're getting a little taste of what it's like up north here.
Oh yeah, I having grown up outside of Cleveland in the snow belt, I welcome these days and then I
Dude.
welcome the melting. Yeah, I love snow. I love snow. Actually, we just booked a ski trip to Park City where we're going to be going next month
Oh wow.
with some friends. So I
Now,
look forward
is
to it.
is there enough snow there that you have to get the shovel out and shovel a little bit, or how's it work there, Dr. E?
Sometimes it's about an inch maybe. So and it's supposed to start. I think it's already turning to freezing rain. So I think we've seen the most snow we're probably going to see today. So, but it's always fun. Our dog, I think this was her first time seeing snow, so she didn't want to go outside, and she just kept turning around to go to the front door and go
So,
back
so
in.
first time for your dog seeing snow, then it must have been a couple of years since you've had snow in the
Yeah.
Atlantic area.
It's been a bit, yeah,
Yeah.
any snow like this. So, yep.
Well, we're going to be dealing with it up here in Jersey tomorrow, to later tonight, tomorrow. Same storm, bringing that up here.
Yeah.
I think we're not going to get too much, like 1 to 3 inches. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, hope you stay safe.
yeah, likewise, and
Yep.
maybe some salt, maybe a little salt to melt that up. No slipping out there, Dr. E. We can't have you going on injured reserve.
Yeah, well, all I need is my voice and just to be able to be propped up at least. So,
Good. Well, we today we are going to be talking about. We've talked about it before on this podcast
hmm
in small amounts,
hmm
but just to remind listeners and viewers, Dr. Eve spent a lot of time working in Haiti, going
hmm
back years. You were, I believe, you began your work there right around just after the earthquake of 2010 hit, which was
No,
particularly
it was 2015 is the first year I went there.
okay
Yeah, so it was some years after that, but it was
after the
still there was still a lot of recovery happening at that time. We went there first. The organization I went there with, Outreach Foundation, was going there to help kids who had been through the traumas of the earthquake begin to work through some of the trauma they experienced using art-based interventions. So they were doing drawing and dance and painting, and it was a really great experience. That's where I came to love the country and love the people, and really see people who wanted to make the world, their country, a better place and their community a better place. And, actually asked me, some young adults came up and approached me and asked me if I'd come back. So it was after that, then I started to go back on my own nickel and the support of friends who would invest in that. And I was worked with a part of a school called the Heart School, and they're in Seabear, which is a suburb of Port-au-Prince, which, as we know, the environment's changed there. So I went there as long as I felt, and as long as the school director felt that I could go there safely. And we can talk. I think I've talked a bit about those workshops that I did, but it was always to help the young adults and adults know how they were being broken and maybe felt broken by the society and the ways we looked at power and the relationships, and then to help them see a future to build a better community and hopefully a better country and contribute to a better world for their kids. And that's the work that I did, and then taught disaster preparedness, and then even the small business development. That was to help build infrastructure and build community in terms of if people can build businesses together, then they can gain more customers. If they treat their customers with good customer service, then they're putting that energy out into their communities. They're learning how to build businesses, and then hopefully bring in outside investment from perhaps other businesses in other areas of Haiti, or even international investment.
So you've done a lot of different work there, like you said, dealing with power dynamics, dealing with community building. I think one of the great things is you've created a lot of great relationships while you're there and met people and have maintained those throughout the years. I mean, you're talking, it's been 10 years since you first went there now. And,
Yeah.
and you've got people that you're still in touch with, and
Yeah.
still helping to some degree. And
Yeah. And
yeah,
some of those people have been able to, a few have been able to relocate here through difficult journeys. And those are people who, really wanted to make a difference where they were at. The people that I'm aware of who are here, who made it through their own efforts, they were two people who helped me out with the workshops. Our guest here, we're going to have on in a little bit, introduce him in a little bit, but he was my translator there. And there were just people, again, willing to help, and they wanted to see the difference. I'd have people who were pastors and teachers come up to me during the workshops and after the workshops during breaks, and just saying what a difference that what we were trying to teach and what I was trying to teach was making for them. I remember a pastor came up to me at a break, and he said, you changed the way that I will preach to my congregation and the way that I will parent. He goes, I used to believe that I needed to use fear and threats to result in change for people. And he said, I think you helped me see not only what I do, but what the true message of my faith is, and how to deliver that message. And I think that's important, because one of the things I saw in Haiti the most was how much mistrust there was. And when there's mistrust, there's fear. And there's so much fear that's been engendered in that culture generation after generation after generation, and we're seeing that now. And I feel like why I wanted to bring this to the podcast is I see so many people in our country who don't understand and judge what they hear in the news and what they see about Haiti. And the people that are causing the disruption are such a small percentage, and it's in a relatively small area around Port-au-Prince. The issue is that it's spreading, and it's starting to move out to the different suburbs, and even to some of the more remote areas that are, again, threatening people who are peace-loving people who have strong communities here and there in pockets, who want to see their country thrive, and they need support. They don't need people casting judgment or saying things on the news that cast that country in a negative light. They need people who are willing to work with their culture, not impart their own cultural beliefs over what they know and what they've experienced, and where that country wants to grow for most of those citizens. Once, when I was there, I said, how many of you feel proud to be Haitians? And everybody raised their hand. And this is a group of over 200 people. I said, how many people feel proud of Haiti right now? And very few people raise their hands, because they know the condition of their country, why they feel proud to be Haitian. And I think the thing that people don't see is the resilience and the strength of the people, and how thirsty they are to learn, how thirsty they are to make a difference together. And, that's where the language they learned to often communicate with was with anger and rage, and like I said, mistrust was the undercurrent that fed and still feeds a lot of those conflicts. And that's where what they felt was such a welcome thing of what I wanted to try to bring, was trying to teach people about equity versus hierarchy, and being able to support people through learning trust, and to support people through love and respect and honor and truth. And that's, again, where we're bringing on our guest today.
Yeah, and I mean, look, in addition to all the political turmoil and upheaval that's gone on, people of Haiti have had to deal with some serious natural disasters. We
Yes.
mentioned, we mentioned the earthquake in 2010, but there've been more earthquakes since, and so
Well,
it's
hurricanes.
and hurricanes. Yeah, there's a lot for the people to deal with there.
Yeah, I had sent some money to an organization again that our guest Luckner is connected to, that we were getting together supplies from the Dominican. He was trying to get it through the Dominican Republic and to the ports in Haiti. And once we got it there, we couldn't get the supplies to the south of Haiti from Port-au-Prince because of the gangs. It just wasn't safe to transport the goods to the people that really needed it, and that's been one of the biggest issues. Is people who really need help, in essence, are being held hostage, like I said, by a relative few that do make numbers enough with the gangs to cause threats to the safety and welfare of many other people.
Yeah, and like you said, the gang violence has escalated there, I guess, in recent years, and even I think the president was assassinated in 2021, and the
Hmm.
prime minister, I think,
Right.
just forced out last year. So a
Right.
lot of a
And there's
power. When
just
we talk about power, there's sort of a power vacuum in terms of political power.
exactly. And if you look back through the history of politics in Haiti, you'd find that there were so many people who rose to power who used that power to exploit. They used that power to take advantage of the situation. Often, there were even times that those in power would arm the people they wanted to back them or support them to feed that environment of fear. And that's been something, like I said, that's been enculturated for generations, that it takes time to shift. It's not impossible because, like I said, the people that I've seen there, that I've met there, the people that want to make the difference, they want change. And it's how do we help them to find that change? And how do we find more people like Luckner, who we're going to talk to? Like I said, I keep talking about him because he is one of the most extraordinary individuals that I have met. And I'll just start with, with the introduction here, is that I met him. He came to one of my I met him through the first time I went to Haiti, when I went with the Outreach Foundation, and he was there to support the process. He was teaching people how to make beads out of paper that they could sell, because so many people needed an income and they didn't have skills. So he's always been about providing skills. He created a community organization, or was part of creating community organizations, where young adults were going around helping kids, giving them activities to do. And I'll let him, if I'm not explaining it clearly, give a little more explanation here. And even then, he became my translator when I would go there. One of the events that happened, and this to me typified the struggles in Haiti, is I asked him to talk about the things that he had done uh, for his countrymen, so that he could provide a roadmap for the people there who wanted to make a difference in their communities. And people from the audience started yelling out at him, calling him a liar, and telling that he was lying and there's no way he did all that. And at that time, because there were more than one person yelling out, at that time, I stopped what was going on, and I said, how can you expect to help each other when you can't even trust one person who I know what he has done? I've seen the work he's done. I've been a witness to what he's done. And you're shouting him down when he's trying to raise you up. And everybody got really quiet. I said, I understand how many of you feel betrayed and violated, and the mistrust and the fear that you're going to be used again, and see so many people who can't tell the truth because of the way they want to be seen. You're going to miss your greatest resources. And I said, you are losing much of your talent. They're leaving your country. Why are they leaving your country? Because not only the conflict they see in the political systems, but because of the conflict that they see in their own backyard. If we want to be a part of the solution, then we want to learn to listen. And we want to learn to trust not just other people, but ourselves. And when I do those presentations, I'd walk down the aisle after we really got into the power models and got into what it was all about. And I'd whisper, and I remember Luckner was walking behind me translating for me, and also my other translator, Basile was his name. And I'd say, the revolution starts in here. The revolution starts in here. And I'd start to say it louder and louder because people would be trying to listen. And I wanted them to listen really hard. I said, because what I'm teaching isn't about creating a revolution of violence to demand change, because the change has to start in here. The change in any group, organization, country, community has to start within yourself. And I get louder and louder and have everybody saying that because what I didn't want them to do was to use their enculturated beliefs in using anger, rage, and hatred, and then resulting in upheaval physically and aggressively to cause change. I want them to see that change might take a while and it has to start in here. And I give this not only as an example of what was done in Haiti, I give it as an example of what we can do in our own communities, our own countries that we talked about so many times on the show. And that's again where to me, Haiti's just an example of another area where people have a hard time trusting. They live with a lot of fear. They want to make a difference and don't necessarily know how. And they're needing and thirsting for guideposts on how to really make a significant difference. And that's why we're doing what we're doing.
So let's bring them in.
Absolutely.
Let's welcome to Emotional Algebra with Dr. E. Luckner Cerhum. Thanks for joining us today, all the way from Haiti.
Hello, Dr. E. Hello, Mr. Andrew. Uh, it's a pleasure for me to join you in this podcast. And then I've been like feeling, wow, Mr. Eric never forget anything, everything in his mind, like it was yesterday that was happening. I remember by the time that I was here in Haiti with Mr. Eric in this workshop, it was, I can say, my best moment in my the best moment of my life, trying me to do what I love to do the most, helping people the way that I can, and then have a great model just in front of me, and then have someone who can pass the power to all of us. And it was one of my best time, and then
Well,
my
I
best
appreciate
motivation. I always say that Mr. is one of my best motivation. Okay, or I can say that someone who just has a spirit of humanism, not patriotism. Patriotism is like when you do something for your own nation, but that's higher than that. When you have humanism in yourself, and then you try to share this with other nation, with other community, you see that in needs of that. What the what this great motivation for others, and then I see that this motivation in you, and then Haiti is mine, and then these people, I am living in this people. I was born in this people, and then I will stay forever in loving of this people. Even though you can say in yourself you didn't have too much to do, but just the simple that you have, try to do it well to make the difference you can do. This is what I always do. I don't necessarily believe that I can do the best thing, but I try to do the simple thing that I know that I can do.
Well, and one of the things that I also want
This
to
is what I
share
always
about
believe.
you, Luckner, is that when you were having a struggles in making a living in Haiti and you went to the Dominican Republic, even there you started a community organization in where the Haitians were, so that you could try to bring them together, try to educate them in how to speak Spanish. I remember that you had even been able to get a number of tablets, and you had them in a backpack and got mugged and beat up. Your passport was stolen, the tablets were stolen, your money was stolen. And I remember you contacting me through somebody else who said, something happened to Luckner. But even that, you put yourself in harm's way there to
Yes.
try to help others. And then you ended up coming back to Haiti because you found you couldn't really do well in Dominican Republic because Haitians just weren't welcome there very much because they're seen as a threat to jobs.
Well, for someone who is living in Haiti and who is trying to flee the oppressions, who is trying to flee the insecurity that is happening, especially in Port-au-Prince, I always precise when I'm talking about the situation. I always precise Port-au-Prince is the worst part, and then I was living there, and then I was a teacher. I was someone involving in my community. I felt good in in my country. I really felt good. I feel that appreciated for what I am doing. Many people with my age and older people, they see what I'm doing. I feel appreciated, but the violence that happening in the country put me in a certain obligation to leave the country for my safety. And then the most favorable place for me to go, it was Dominican Republic. And then I had a brother there. He's Dominican, as I've told you before. And then he advised me, man, you speak really good English. If you get there, you can find opportunity. I said, oh, really? And I said, let me go there and then try to see what I can do. But it was not the main reason for me to leave Haiti. The main reason for me to leave Haiti was the insecurity, what happening. And then everywhere stopped blocked by gangsters everywhere. And then someone who are not involved in this kinds of life, you are flattened. Actually, you are not part of them. You are flattened. And then I went there, and then while I went there, I was trying to find a job, and then I managed hard to find it, but it was not possible because you might have the qualification for a job, but since you are not Dominican, you don't have a paper for that. You might have visa, you might have passport. They don't have a really a way for you to have a work permit. They don't have this really. They don't have this process there for Haitian from I heard that they had this process back in 2015, but since then they don't have this process anymore. And then I was not able to have the job that I need. But as someone who trying to manage himself, I say no, I don't have to go back now. And then I know that the situation of my country, especially in Portland, I was living there, and I said that I don't. And the situation was worse. And I say, no, I have to fight here. Anything that I find out, I have to do it, and then to see what I can do. And then this way, I start doing other kinds of job like painting, like polishing, like doing this thing in house, and then work with roots. That was not a problem for me because I say that no matter what you are doing, since you believe in yourself, you believe there is a positive thing you can find of that. I learned the skill, I do it great. And then while I'm there, I see the situation of many of my brothers. And then while I get there, I didn't know anything in Spanish. I started to learn Spanish. Thanks to God, I learned it fast. And then I was able to speak Spanish. And then try to see what I can do. I get in touch with communities like pastors, doctors. They studied there, but they don't have a paper to work there. You see the difference? You studied there, you don't have a paper to work there. And we see that what we can do. And then we see that the problem of our brothers with immigration, they can't go to work because all over in the streets we have immigration agents, police. They arrest them like a thief and put them in jail
Mhm.
and get them back to Haiti, even though the situation was bad. Okay, what we say let do something. I love to do that because I see that people, when you gather together, you have something positive. I have something positive. What when we put that together, we can do something great. And then we united together. We say let's see what we can do, and then we start with a kind of professional school. We help many of our brothers that don't know anything in Spanish. Life is harder for them when they don't speak the language. And then as I know that, I start to know that English. I remember by 2019 or 2020, I was still in the Dominican Republic and COVID time. English become like a kind of profession. And then we start finding opportunity online to work remotely. I say, oh, let me do something. I can teach some of them English. We don't take money from them for that. We just take just a simple thing to buy a piece of chalk, to buy stuff, furniture for the school. We teach them Spanish, English, and then there was a lady that's know how to or to make dresses, stuff like this. And then we asked her to help us. And there are plenty of young lady that learn from that. We build that thing, and then that helped a lot of people there. And then the doctor, we talk together. We see the situation. We don't really have insurance there, and then many of Haitians, they are in a great difficulty to go to hospital there. And then we say that let us build something like a kind of organization. What we will do, we will just take a little amount from each person. Like we can start from, let's say, $10 a month. And then with that $10, they will have possibility to have a consultation. They will have possibility to have some medication. If their case is worse, and then they can refer them to other hospital. And then with that only, they will have a card. If they need to if they need to have if they need to have, forget this. We have this plan for ladies with babies. We have this plan. We try to build that. But at a certain time, you know what they say? They say, "Oh, who are going to support that?" We don't seem like people who have enough means to do something like this. And then one of the things that I see that was critical for my brothers there, for most of the Haitian there, is that they work hard, and then they don't really have a good salary. And then when time comes for them to have their payment, sometimes they can say, I will pay you this Saturday. And then they say, oh, we don't have enough money, especially those who are working in construction. They say, we don't have enough money to pay you today. We will lend you some money. They must lend them some money with high interest to
Hmm.
buy food for the family. We say like, from
Hmm.
this money, let us put together. We will create something. We will like create like a shop where they, if they don't have money this weekend, they can take the food, and then when they have the payment, they will pay it for with no interest. This is what we had in plan. But they say, we invite them, but some of them didn't trust us because they say that you don't have fun. Many of our brothers, what they believe, they believe that if you don't have someone like a right people who can say, I will finance you, you can't do anything. But me, what I always tell them, we should see what we can do first with our own means, and then afterward we can have other partners. We try to do something with our own money, but they didn't trust us. And then with other complication like immigrations, and then they don't give us opportunity to have all the papers we need to have this organization there. That's why we didn't build it, but we were about to do that. We were about to do that. And then me, the reason why I come here is that I see that what I have in mind, what I want to do to help, I couldn't do it completely in the Dominican Republic because the governments, they put a lot of barrier. Since you are Haitian, a lot of barrier. And then I said that I might try to come Haiti. I know what I have been doing. I still have this energy. I still have it. And then I still believe we can try to do a difference. And then I say that me Baller, it's a good option for me to come. And then I come here, even though I was planning with a friend to start a school, but for the moment I have a lot of things like on personal stuff to work on. I didn't have time to do that. But we still have in mind to see what we can do here, the difference we can do here. Actually, we are here. We're trying to build a small business for myself and then my cousin here. And then afterward, we are planning to do other thing to do it to make a difference in the community.
Luckner, your experiences from Haiti to the Dominican Republic and back to Haiti again, again, in every situation you were at, it seemed like more you were thinking about other people and their welfare, often more than yours. given where things are at right now, what do you know about what's going on in Port-au-Prince and the suburbs around there? And is that, are those gangs spreading to other areas in Haiti right now?
Since I got back from Haiti, I spent like 4 3 days in Port-au-Prince last December. The last time that I was in Port-au-Prince, I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like it at all because everywhere you see it's a group of gang that try to control territory that's mine. And then if you're not my people, if I see you here, why you are coming here? Who are you? This is something like this that is happening in Port-au-Prince, and in this situation, put gangs now and then face to face to each other. And then when the gangs are face to face to each other, the victims are the civil population. Most of the victims are the civils, the peaceful citizens. They were the victims. And then you can see most of the times a school is open, but the student cannot go to school because of the situations. That's impedes all activities, all economical activities, and everything that you have to do. If you have to go here from a print to the other print, you have to have a permit. I remember the last time that I leave where I am now to go to Port-au-Prince, the van that I take, they have to pay. They have to pay when we were about to get in Port-au-Prince. They were about to pay a certain of gangsters that stay on the street, and then every vehicle they have to take some money from them. Because of that, the transportation is higher. The cost of the transportation is higher. This is what is happening now in the city. And then what I can see, the reason why the situation it get to that worse is that we don't have leadership. Leadership is something that we need, and this leadership, we will get it from people who are peaceful, respectful, and have will love for the nation, the people, not their own interests. Because most of the time, people they just care about themselves. They don't care about others. For power, they are ready to do everything. Those gangs, their history start from peaceful men. You know why people are easily manipulated? Because they are not well educated.
Mhm.
Because they are not
Right.
well educated. When you are educated, that give you opportunity to think about your actions. What that costs me, you give me money, you give me guns, you give me power, and then you keep me in a certain mental slave. Okay, I can do what I am like a king in this area. I do whatever thing I need. People are fear from me. They don't take time to think about this just because they don't think about their actions. This is what is happening in Haiti now. The thing that can change Haiti is that they have to think about our education from the real beginning. And then one of the hope that I see this country have is most of our sons and daughters that are leaving the country, and then they go outside. They see how people means. They see other examples. They were educated, and then they don't have in mind other thing than one day they can come back and brand these experiences, brand this leadership, brand this in the country. This is the only hope that I see for Haiti. And then one of the thing I see is that we are resilient, really. We are resilient. I know there are young men, they are in misery. They can buy shoes to put in their foot, but they won't accept any kinds of money. They won't accept that. They won't accept you manipulate them. They prefer to work hard to get their life honestly than to do something wrong against the society to hurt their family, their friends. to make them a shame for the society. I know that.
Luckner, I am listening to you. It's fascinating to hear all of this, and I'm wondering. You seem like
Can you
such
hear
a
me?
positive guy and somebody who is hopeful. It sounds like you've been faced with a lot of diversity, and you and others. What keeps you hopeful? How are you able to maintain a positive outlook, just given some of the hardship you faced?
One of the things that always keep my hope is that I see we are positive people, wonderful people that want great thing to happen and that are ready for this great thing to happen, that want to contribute all the life for this great thing to happen. But they, most of them, they don't know how to start really. Like me, most of the time I don't know how to start. But I have great examples. I have wonderful people that are motivated me, that I see like my example, and then I see there is no reason to say, "Oh my goodness, I will always see what I can do to see what I can do to bring something positive here because my heart is here."
Yeah, you talked earlier about. I feel like what you just said really described something you said earlier, and that was about patriotism and humanism sort of being even more virtuous than patriotism. Not only just doing something for your country, but doing something just for humanity. That really sounds like what you're describing to me. So I applaud you for that.
And Luckner, what I wanted to add was you talked about also the need for education. And again, one of the reasons that I did the work I did in Haiti was because when I was
Exactly.
with the Outreach Foundation and I started the first group, one of the questions I got from one of the participants was, is sadness a disease? And when I heard the question, I was like, wow, it never occurred to me how people might see it. And I talked about the difference between depression as being a combination of emotions that can be considered a disease, but sadness is an emotion. And at that time I realized what a lot of people really need in a lot of areas, not just Haiti, but really, the areas I've taught around the world, is it's so important to understand the purpose of emotions and what they're trying to do. And that's one of the things I think what that bonded you and I together is that when you started to understand that idea about emotions and why they're there and what they're there to do. These are the things I feel like really the audience participants and you and people wanted to make a difference could see, oh wait, there is a reason why we're doing this. This isn't that these emotions are bad or wrong or part of a disease. They're part of what helps us to express ourselves. And then one of the stories from that was one of the participants who ended up becoming a helper, who I won't mention his name, but because out of to protect his anonymity, but he was one of the ones who was in the audience just yelling out to try to say the issues he had and what was wrong with the country and what was wrong with what some of the participants were saying. It was coming out with anger, and I went up literally through in the workshop. I walked up to him and I sat on his lap. And everybody stopped and he stopped and he didn't know what to do. I did that to kind of shock him into a place to say, and I said, I see you. I see how passionately you feel about your country. I feel how passionate you feel about your community. And I see that you want change and you feel helpless and you feel sad and you feel confused as to how do you do this. And it's coming out with anger. And he stopped. And again, we needed the translator. I think that was when Baz was translating. But in that, he stopped and he said, you understand. And that's what forged that relationship, is being able to see beyond the emotions that protect the anger, rage, arrogance, flippancy, defiance, sarcasm, and hatred, all those emotions that we taught together, and seeing what was underneath. And that to me is that key in education to change, not just give the history and to teach people how to read and to understand math and to give them vocational skills, but also to give them the skills to understand their emotions and their ways to approach life, their ways to approach each other from the standpoint of power. And I think for you, it's been a bit innate. You were born to me in some ways understanding those dynamics. I think for others, it's been a little bit difficult, which is why you see so many people who resort to violence and anger to try to affect change. What are your thoughts on that? Okay, listeners and viewers, you might notice if you're watching that Luckner has changed locations due to technical issues. He needed to connect a little bit closer to a hard wire. So we're gonna pick up where I left off. I had asked Luckner about the situations with education and people understanding the issues with emotions and power, and had asked for Luckner's thoughts on that.
Well, emotion. I think emotion is the clearer thing that shows what someone is inside, or what is exactly makes someone different from the other person. And then to understand the emotion of that person, that will give you opportunity to connect with that person. Without understanding someone emotion, that will be hard for you to connect with that person. Someone can
Mhm.
see, you can see someone outside in a way, in a certain way, but closer, when you start to connect with that person, understand his emotions, you will see, my goodness, this is totally a different person. This is effective for everywhere, even at our school and at our schools in Haiti. I think people should be able to understand emotions of the students, teachers, for them to do a better job. Because there are some problems that people have with each other just because they don't understand each other. They don't understand what emotion is feeling that person that they are interacting with. And then without understanding this part, uh, there will always have problem in relationship and a friendship, family, churches. A lot of churches
Mhm.
crash because they don't understand the other's emotion. And then people use a certain thing, they say that's because of devil. No, this is not all the thing is because of the devil. It's because they don't understand each other. And then to be able to understand each other, you should understand emotion. Emotionally, what is that person is crossing. This is what I think.
Luckner, what do you think politically about the challenges ahead? Are you hopeful that some of them can be overcome, and that the government can get organized and, just from a human aspect, find the leadership that you were talking about um, in the years ahead?
Well, leadership it's a great thing, but for me, the power to change that country, it's belong to the people. It's belong to every family. The family for me, a strong family, a family well organized, a family who consider education, a family who consider the rules for each person to respect each other will affect the society, and the society will construct like this. And then they will have a difference. They will make a difference, they will make a positive impact. Firstly, I need that the family needs to be empowered. And then for the leadership, I believe that this is a great problem we have here in Haiti. We don't really have leadership. What is leadership? Leadership is see previously, organize first, see the problem, organize the problem before it's happened, and then see a resolution. Most of the time, you see that people they are acting after something happened, but a real leader need to see what will happen and then see a solution for that. And then I believe that one of the hope for Haiti is people that is abroad, people that are studying, people that are learning different skills, people that see how other people or other leaders in other country react to the people, understand their needs, and then these people at any time they can say, my goodness, we have a live a will a better life here, and then my people is in difficulty. It's time for us to bring that experiences, it's time for us to bring knowledge, it's time to bring it to my country to make a difference. Because here in Haiti, um, we have a lot of cultural thing, a lot of historical barrier that keep us in what we are now. And then this thing will not disappear from today from tomorrow or today. This is something we have to build together.
Great answer, Luckner. Again, you are just so wise and aware, and just an old soul to me. Uh, what I'd like to bring attention to is I know for years you've talked about wanting to come to the United States to get a college education, and we talked about different ways to do that. And there are others of that I've met that have had the same desires. And I will put this out there: if there are universities and people in universities who want to help contribute to Haiti becoming the nation it can be, I'm going to ask you to see that there are so many like Luckner, and those who want to see a difference, and those who can make a difference with their wisdom before they come to the university. Don't assume that Haitians don't know and see the problems, not only at a granular level in their family or communities, but also at a geopolitical level. That this is a great opportunity to affect change. And these are students who would study their hearts out, their souls out, because they know that they can make a difference, and they also require the tools and are thirsty for the resources. I would love it if somebody from, again, my alma mater, Ohio State, or even you have the Emorys, the Georgia States, the Harvards, all these universities that are so well endowed and have so many resources, to see that they can offer an education to bring people from a place where there are others disadvantaged, and then they want to go back. They want to be a part of the change. They want to be a part of the solution. And like Luckner said, true leaders do see the problems before them. They don't react, they respond. They anticipate, and they see the pieces of the puzzle that come together that we can all use to make a difference. So again, I would appeal to those in university settings, or even if you want to sponsor one of these amazing people to come to the United States, and there are others. I get requests all the time from the brothers and sisters, as I call them in Haiti, that really want to make a difference in their country. They just can't get an education. It's not safe to even go to the universities there anymore. They don't have jobs, so they can't necessarily afford the universities there. This isn't just a number of people who want to run away from Haiti and come to the United States and use our resources. That is not why they are coming here. They're coming here for safety. They're coming here for opportunity. And if many of them knew that they could return home to a country that was safe, that had true promise, that they didn't have to worry about gangs. We got to remember that part of what gangs are about, it's a dysfunctional family and just a progression of a dysfunctional family. And even when we recognize and we help parents in Haiti understand how to build
Exactly.
stronger families and how to build better communities, then you're going to change the fabric of that country. It's going to take time, and it takes investment. It takes persistence. It takes consistency. It takes that patience to see what we're trying to create. We're trying to shape this culture, this country, not to be like us, but to bring out the best of what's in them already. And that's what Luckner does. And that's what others that I've met have done. And like I said, I've been careful not to mention names because I want to protect their anonymity. While this is how we become part of the solution. When people wanted to come to the United States, why? If we don't want so many people who want to come here, then let's help create a better environment where they live, rather than just cast judgment and call them names and say they're criminals and they're drug dealers. Stop. Let's see that we can be part of the solution, and not just spread our own ideals, but empower people to find their truth and their ideals through what we're trying to change and how we're trying to help these people grow.
All right. Well, Luckner, we really appreciate you
Wonderful.
joining us today. It was
It's a
great to hear from you and hear about your experiences, and and it was great just to meet you too. I know you've known Dr. E for more than 10 years now. But great to meet you and hear all about it. And thanks for taking the time to tell us, all about your experiences there.
All the pleasure is mine. All the pleasure. I would thank Dr. E for inviting me to this podcast, and thank you. I believe that I meet a new friend, Mr. Andrew. I used to see this podcast, but this is the first time that I react directly to you. That's a pleasure for me. And then I
Likewise.
believe that Dr. Eric is doing a really wonderful work. And then I wish that one day, as I've told Dr. E, the cancer is Port-au-Prince. And I wish that he can come to other parts. I don't say not only Haiti. I believe many other places need people like Dr. E who have humanism, who try to do something to make the world a better place, who has to try to start the peace that he can bring to do something you never imagine what will happen in the future. But he just bring his part. I love that. And then you will be forever my model, Dr. E.
Well, I appreciate your words, Luckner, and again, I always value our contacts, and been great to be a part of your life, and you're definitely an important part of mine, as are so many other of your countrymen that have meant so much to me. So we're going to wrap this up now. I think it was a great discussion. How I'm going to end this, Andrew, is when I went to Haiti years ago, I created a real short video of what the work that we were doing there, I was trying to do there, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode with that video that really shows what the efforts were and what we're trying to do, and to see again the wonderful people that are and make up the country of Haiti. And I want people to see the promise of this country and to be a part of the solution. And that together we can not only change countries like Haiti, we can help people really feel empowered, because it's not about the country, it's about the people. And that's what I hope people can see through the work that we're trying to do here.
Right. Interesting discussion today, Dr. E. And also,
Absolutely.
Don't forget about your efforts over the years that shouldn't
Well,
go unmentioned. So
no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So until next time.
And it always reminds me, no matter where I am, et ça tout rappelle que quel que soit côté moyen, I'm connected to everyone I meet. Et moi connecté avec chaque grand monde que je rencontre dans la ville. Nous c'est communauté.